Yo, what it do is Just Kids. Hey, we back here with another video. Trying to keep pushing out this content. Make sure you hit the like, share, subscribe button, post bell notifications so you can get every update whenever I give you guys some new content and whatnot. So today I'm here to talk about the buy once, cry once, phrase and term that these gun tubers and just gun guys put out there, saying that you should just spend more money technically to buy a product, a gun, a magazine, a barrel, a bolt carrier, a trigger, or whatnot, as an upgrade or a full package. And it should be just that. You should only have to buy it once. You should only want to buy it once. And why that is a complete lie. And actually, it's bad advice because, like I said, you guys got to do your own research. You can go out and, we're all clear with everything. Safe control environment. You can go out and say, okay, I'm going to buy a Shadow System. Pretty sexy gun, The price is, it's how can I put it? It's flat out. It's not worth the price, honestly. It's a Glock clone, more than the Glock. Has quite a few quote unquote upgrades that people like to generally do to their Glocks whenever they want to build them. Like it may come with the optic cut already. It may come with a cool barrel, pretty much one of these type of barrels with the spiral fluting to help with cooling. It may come with an upgraded recoil spring, the texturing. I don't think the triggers in the Shadow Systems is pretty good, honestly. It comes with upgraded sights and a couple more, little enhancements, shall we say. But honestly, if you do your homework on Shadow Systems, out the box, they're trash. They're trash, flat out the box. They advise you to, I think, around 500 rounds as a break-in period. None of these guns right here have break-in periods of any round count, honestly. I'll tell people to break in their guns by honestly locking the slide back to help the recoil spring loosen up. From factory, all weapons have the recoil spring is pretty much, it's brand new. So it's no point in going to the range and saying, "Oh man, I think I need to change the recoil spring." I simply changed it because I just like metal in my guns. I prefer. But locking back the slide on an empty magazine, or just locking back the slide, it actually help take a pound or two off that recoil spring if you lock it back long enough. So when you do go to the range, you're not having failure to feeds or this or that, especially if it's a new design. And me, honestly, I just do it now with any gun, especially if I'm, changing out from an OEM part. I just do it regardless, whether it's stock, whether it's upgraded, quote unquote. If it's a new gun in general, I'm going to do that to it to break the slide in. And yeah, like Shadow Systems, they jam a lot. They have break-in periods of 500 rounds, and a lot of people say even after 500 rounds, it still has malfunctions. And some people say, hey, it might work out the box, or yeah, after the 500 rounds, it works good. So the buy once, cry once thing is like, it's really a myth. Like, I would just tell a person to get the Glock. instead of the shadow systems. You can't really just buy one gun and just say, okay, now I don't have to buy any other guns. Me at first, I bought I believe I actually bought this one first, actually. And then I went ahead and bought the Toro model and the plain one, GX4, for a chick I was dating at the time. She didn't really like it, so I just kept it really. She's not really into guns, I guess. So I ended up with 3 of virtually the same guns. And honestly, it took me to buy pretty much 2 of them. One of them just came with the optic versus the GX4 Toro and the plain one. And it took me to buy 2 of them pretty much to realize I prefer the longer slide. I mean, don't get me wrong, like the GX4 is pretty much this. It's not bad. It's not even that snappy. One of my homegirls, she got a 43X and she shot all of these, even the micros, better than her 43X. So, I mean, people may joke on the names and the brands and whatnot, but honestly, as you see, the whole buy once, cry once thing is very misleading to especially new gun owners and hobbyists. Now, with rifles, a lot of people like to say, oh man, just go Daniel Defense. That I'm gonna just use Daniel Defense for now. Do your homework on Daniel Defense rifles. They have break-in periods that they instruct the users to actually follow. And honestly, I just don't agree with that. Like, if I'm spending X amount of dollars on a gun, like, it really shouldn't technically have a quote unquote break-in period. When you can just get a Palmetto State Armory. I've had 2 variants of these now. They're pretty much the same except the MOE furniture on it, really, and a couple more upgrades that I added on myself. But the whole Daniel Defense thing, those rifles are $1,000. This rifle here, it was about I think it was actually cheaper than the first one that I bought. Weirdly, now that I think about it, it was like $100 cheaper. So, would you spend over $1,000, or would you save money and personalize it how you like it? I got me a foregrip, the bayonet lug for any type of accessories, the bipod, the foregrip, a light, laser combo, or what have you. The A2 front sight, I love that. I feel like that's kind of almost mandatory for me now. The hand guard, I'm not a fan of the long hand guards, honestly, guys, because I just don't feel the need for. I'm not putting a lot of attachments. It's cool. Yeah, you can extend your grip out further, but I don't even grip a gun like that in general. They say, oh, the free float hand guard is more accurate. I call BS because in the military they don't use free float hand guards. Let's start there. They use mil spec hand guards, mil spec front sights. For the most part, unless you're in a special operations type team, this is generally what their rifles will look like. Another thing, the trigger. People like, oh man, I want a competition style trigger. No, you don't. You want to actually learn how to shoot your gun, because if you go and watch Grantham, when he had a special guest named Mojo, I believe he was in the Marines or something like that, and that guy had a mil spec AR-15. It dang that sounded like it was automatic, man. So that's where technique, practice, and training comes in. You don't need the craziest trigger, the craziest BCG bolt carrying group. You know, you really don't need all those things, man. So the whole buy once, cry once thing is it's really just to make you spend more money. It's to generally just make people say, hey man, if I spent this much, you should spend that much, or you should be ashamed of what you're carrying, or what you're building. When in reality, like, that's just not the case. Like, you look at the old wars, like, those people had the most basic rifles and handguns, like 8-shot 45s and dang M16s, like, just regular stuff, honestly. None of these attachments were on them. And I mean, they did pretty fine with theirs. So, the whole buy once, cry once thing, honestly, don't listen to it, because you're never going to just buy one AR and just feel like, hey, I can have this AR for 100,000 rounds and it's never going to break. It's unheard of. I don't care what gun it is. And we see that with meltdown videos from like Iraq Veteran 8888 and a couple more other channels. Like, no gun is like just impervious to wear and tear. Like, it's gonna wear out the barrel. It's gonna wear out the bolt carrying group, the firing pin, the the recoil spring, the buffer system, the charging handle, the bolt release, the trigger. All of these things are gonna wear out. And honestly, on the high end rifles, if you do your research, you'll kind of see that it actually wears out a little quicker than on these properly priced and affordable options that you see here, and the other ones that they have out there also. So the whole buy once, cry once thing, in my opinion, is just to make people. It's a gun shaming tactic. It's a buyer's remorse tactic that people use on their counterparts to make them feel the need to actually go and spend more, even when it comes to optics. Like, this is a Monstrum optic, pretty cool, 1.5 power, so it's not really magnified. It's only like half magnified. You can see out to about 60 yards, I'll say, just about 60, 70 yards, pretty good. Of course, you can still throw a magnifier in front of it, as most people do anyway. But yeah, man, the whole buy once, cry once thing is just to make you spend more money, man. Even with the pistol optics, there's plenty of options out there, but you don't have to get a Trijicon. You don't have to get a Holosun. You don't have to get no one brand. Like, all you need is additional magazines, man. A lot of mags and a lot of ammo, honestly, guys. Because at the end of the day, you will buy multiple of everything. You will buy multiple rifles, handguns. Some of them will be almost identical. Some of them would be a variation of, like I said, I bought 3 of this same gun. It's just this one is a longer slide, and it has the option of an optic. And honestly, I'm about to buy a 4th variation because I'm going to get the GX4 carry, which is just a longer grip that the 15 rounders actually go in. So It'll be just a longer grip and a Picatinny rail. That's it. Like, other than that, man, I would say save your money and buy multiple options instead of just getting one rifle, one handgun, one shotgun. Do not go by the buy once, cry once motto, because it's just a way to make you spend more money on one product instead of just trying out different products and doing your own research. Make sure y'all hit the like, share, subscribe button, post bell notifications so you can get all of my notifications. Watch the commercials. Dress to Kill. We out.